Lowe's knows how to help make your home holiday ready for less. Get Select Style Selections vinyl flooring for just $1.99 per square foot and have it installed before the festivities begin. Our team can help you every step of the way. See a Lowe's Red Vest associate or visit Lowes.com/holiday install to get started. Lowe's, we help, you save. Basic install only. Date restrictions apply. Subject to availability. Installed by independent contractors. See associate for details. Contiguous U.S. only.
Welcome, everybody, to 90 Day Fiancé Fridays on a Sunday to talk about Happily Ever After. What's good? Gina, George, and then our live people, Iggy, Jessica, Lana, and Sherry. What's up?
What's up? What's up? So today was hard to get through, right? Like it was kind of boring. There was the ski trip and Darcy and Georgie, which has been like, with Darcy, it's been like 8 or 9 years of like literally the same thing. And
yeah.
I think there was like a hot second of Brandon and Julia in there. Am I forgetting somebody? I think somebody else was in there too, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and I hate to give Jasmine and them credit, but they're the only interesting people, really.
Yeah, that's not saying much, but yeah, they are keeping, the show on, I guess. Like, I guess people would actually just change the channel and watch something else, but the Jasmine and Gino saga, or the Jasmine, it's actually a throuple, the Jasmine, Gino, Matt saga is kind of keeping it up. And Gino made some cool revelations tonight. Like, we found out a total all-in number of how much he's spent since he's been around with Jasmine. So my question for the panel, because for me, I was surprised by the number, but I'm not going to tell you why. I just want to ask first, were you surprised that the number was not higher or lower? What were you thinking?
I thought it was a good number because remember that he only got a lawyer on the second part when he fucked up the first time on the papers. So then if he was to foresee a lawyer from the start to the finish, that would have cost more money, obviously.
So you think $76,000 is a decent amount? Like, you think?
I thought it was going to be I honestly thought if he actually got a lawyer, I thought it was going to be a lot higher.
Like, well, if it's supposed to count like the butt implants and all that, and the whatever he paid for like Jasmine and to have a apartment in Panama and all that.
Yeah,
shit.
it included that.
Yeah, he did it all in. This was the all in calculation.
So I would say it's not like considering it's everything. To me, it's not shockingly high. Meaning it's like not high.
So I thought that I actually thought the number was low. So do you think that Jasmine is not as high end of an escort as she leads on? Because I was thinking that it was going to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The way that she makes it seem like people just do things for her, and because she hasn't had a job since basically the day she met Gino, right? So it's always been Gino paying for everything, doing everything for her. So I was actually thinking more along the lines of 150,000 is what I was going in. Like,
and just for the record, I think we're agreeing. So I'm saying it's not high, meaning it's low. So that's what you said. So we said the same thing in different words.
Okay, yeah, because I was a little shocked at how low the number was. I was like, oh, I thought she was a little more high end than that. I didn't know she was a little. Yeah, this is low rent, like $75K over 5 years. That's pretty low rent. Right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe when she says she loves like Dollar Tree, she wasn't bullshitting.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know what? I'm beginning to believe that, because I was like over 5 years, milking a guy dry, and you only got $76,000, and that's including your green card and one of your ass implants, because I guess Dane paid for the other one. I was like, yeah, it's not as high end as it is. She might be a little cheaper than we thought. Like, I might have gave her more credit than she deserved.
We're talking about like the thriftiest person who likes to get money out of people by doing cameos, by doing OnlyFans herself. So
yeah, I think you kind of took the words out of my mouth, because I was going to say like maybe the reason the number is kind of low is because she was an earner herself, so she was able to like contribute a lot more because she had the OnlyFans money and all that shit.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, she's probably able to fork in So I think she's forked in more money on her own than she has for Gino. So does that make her like a bad sugar baby? Because don't you feel like if you got to make your own money, you're not really a sugar baby? Because I feel like being a sugar baby means you don't have to do nothing. Somebody is giving you everything. So maybe she's not the best sugar baby out there.
I think it's like she's a sugar baby with fame, and then the fame gives her money. So the fame money ends up being more than the sugar baby money, I guess.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that I think that when she got over here, she thought that Gino was going to be her main source of money. And then when she realized how big the show was over here and how much money she could make just being Jasmine, I think that's kind of where she was like, I don't need him. Right. Like, I think she made the realization when she got here, she was like, I have to stick with this man. You know, I need a place to live. I need money. I'm never going to get a job. He's got to do everything for me. And then I think she realized when she could make so much money on her own, she was like, oh, once I get my paperwork, I don't need this guy. Like, he can literally go anywhere. I literally don't care. And that's kind of what Gino insinuated tonight. He was like, right when I paid for it and filed for her residency paperwork, that's when she met Matt. Decided that she wanted to, you know, do whatever she wanted to do. And he's like, that doesn't seem like a coincidence. And I was like, it really doesn't. You know, it doesn't. When she needed you, she needed you. And then when she realized she didn't need you, you're useful.
Yeah. Her love language was getting her immigration papers. And when she got her immigration shit done, her love language changed to some new dick.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
She basically was like, because at first, if you think about it, her biggest thing was have sex with me. I want to have sex. You need to touch me. And then after she got her residency paper, she was like, well, I found somebody to have sex with me. Like, her tone completely changed where she was like, I don't need you to touch me now. I found somebody to do that. So you can just, you know, go jerk off in the corner. You know, like her whole tone and demeanor and everything changed. And I don't think that that's a coincidence. And Gino mentioned that he went to immigration on Jasmine. He said that in the preview for next week. So, you know, obviously Jasmine is still here living her best life. So I'm assuming that nothing came about from that. But good for Gino, though. Good for him for standing up for himself and not taking what she dished out. Because all these years we've been, you know, criticizing Gino for just sitting down and taking it, right? It's like everybody's just shitting on him and he's just sitting there letting them shit all over him. At least he went and tried. He's like, look, she defrauded me allegedly, and I'm gonna tell them what she did. And he went up there and he told them. Good for him. It might not have worked, but I'm just glad that he finally had the balls to stand up for himself.
Like, what did you think of, maybe jumping ahead, but what did you think of when he wrote out that long letter?
Oh, I mean, I understand. Like, I've been to therapy. Y'all know I grew up in a really messed up life, household and shit. But I know that putting things out on paper and saying them out loud for yourself is a good thing. But at the end of the day, Jasmine will never take accountability. So if he was to read her that letter, she doesn't care. She doesn't.
Yeah. The only thing I was gonna say is, like, if they weren't filming a TV show and it wasn't like done for TV, like, she wouldn't have sat on the phone through Gino's whole long diatribe letter.
No, she was being paid for that conversation.
Yes, she would have hung up like 30 seconds into.
Oh, hell yeah. If the second he said, I think that you use me, she would have hung up the phone. But yeah, since she was being paid for that conversation, he got a chance to read it out loud. And at the end of the day, when somebody is evil and they're using you, they don't have a human emotion. Jasmine only has human emotion when it comes to herself. Everybody else, you know, doesn't exist in her universe. So she doesn't feel bad. And I was like, if you want to read her the letter, because he's like, I want to see her reaction. And I was like, she won't have one. She doesn't care about you. She didn't love you in the beginning and she didn't love you in the end. So there won't be any reaction. But at the end of the day, like, I know I've been through therapy. It's therapeutic for you to say words. It doesn't really matter if those words resonate with who you're saying it to. It's good that they came out of your mouth and you're releasing that anger and that hate and shit. So I think that was the whole point. Once you say it out loud, you can start your healing process. So maybe he's ready to heal and divorce her and send her. I don't want to say send her ass back. He probably can't do that now, but he can move on, you know, and try to live a normal life outside of, you know, being humiliated episode after episode after episode. I can't imagine what that's like.
Yeah, and then by the way, it was nice to see the cameo of Uncle Marco because he's a friend of the show.
Yeah, so, I love Uncle Marco. I tweeted out he's the only family member in the Palazzo family that actually cares about Gino. Right? He's the only one that puts Gino ahead of everybody else, and that's the type of family I want. So Uncle Marco is my uncle too.
Yeah, Uncle Mugger is way better than Dana, the douche.
Yeah, Dana wakes up at 3 a.m. to defend Jasmine. So I'm never gonna let that go. Like of all the things you could be doing at 3 a.m., you're defending Jasmine. So that's all like that's the definition of what the fuck. Right? Like of
Yeah.
all the things you could be doing, you could be at the gym, you could be cooking, you could be at work, but you defending Jasmine of all people.
Like he probably defended her even before he had like coffee and shit.
Right. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. What are you have you even peed yet? You already defending Jasmine. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so there's that. And then what did you think of like Jasmine and Matt's like fight in the store or outside of the store? I don't know.
Oh, about the girl thing. Oh, so Jasmine, she had a humanizing scene tonight where she discussed her childhood and where her father rejected her because he wanted a daughter and simply because she was a woman, he didn't want to be in her life. And then she told her story about how she did great in college and graduated with honors and her dad didn't show up. And I was like, I do feel bad for her because no one, no matter child, adult, anyone deserves to be rejected by their parent. But I do want to separate the human being that Jasmine is today to
Mm-hmm.
really relate to the person that she's describing when she was a child. I think the evil demonic creature that she became is not because her dad rejected her. I think it's because she's just an evil person. And
Mm-hmm.
I liked how she was trying to use that as a way to humanize herself. Like, oh, well, this is how I became this way. But I was like, yeah, when your dad walked away when you were like 2, versus now, I think that you're more of who you are now than you were when you were 2. So I think you being evil and mean and nasty to people is just who you are. I don't think your dad is the reason for that. I think it's more you.
Yeah, and it was nice to see like their real interactions. When I say real interactions, I mean she getting pissed at him, and all he could say is like "ay ay ay, mama," and
Oh
like
God, the ay ay ay. Every scene of every episode this man has used ay ay ay, ay ay ay, ay ay ay. And I was like, am I watching like some sort of children's show? Like,
A
mm,
cartoon?
yo, I was like, does he know any other actual phrase to use?
mm-hmm.
Like, I'm
Wait, what was that? I think it was from Looney Tunes with like the little mouse with the like with the sombrero hat. Didn't he used to say that? Ay, ay, ay.
I don't know, but what did you think when they were all like, are having their after they had the little tiff, and then she went and sat in the back seat, so that was so dramatic, and he was in the front talking to her through the rear view mirror.
yeah, she's like, I don't want to be close to you. I was like, well, you're a homeless person, Jasmine, so you got to get in the car with him because how the hell else are you going to get home? So, and also, even more pissed me off even more, she didn't put on her seatbelt. So this pregnant woman,
Oh,
being an innocent baby, decided
mm-hmm.
to get in the car and not put on her seatbelt, and that pisses me off. People that don't wear their seatbelts, and I know it's your prerogative, it's your choice. Depending on what's the law, I don't think it depends on the state. It's the law regardless. But when I see people get in the car and they're on TV and they don't put on the seatbelt, I was like, so you're like advertising to the world that you don't care about you or your baby.
Oh
That,
yeah, so that okay, so that, and then also when he was driving, he had like a cell phone in his one hand while he had the other hand on the wheel.
yeah, I saw that too. But I mean, they both irritate me. And
Mhm.
I had a realization tonight. I was like, I don't know which one of them is dumber. Because I was like, I know Jasmine is an idiot and I know he's a moron, but I was like, if there was a competition of which one is the dumbest, I'm stumped. I'm not really sure if either one of them have any working brain cells between the two of them. They're both idiots because I was like, I can't imagine that this relationship isn't going to work out because they're literally the same person, just in male and female form. Like, I can't imagine that they could find anyone more perfect for each other. He
Mhm.
is an idiot and she's a moron, and it's like a match made in heaven. They both have no common sense whatsoever, and they both are blaming each other for all of their shortcomings when they're both idiots. Because I was like, I can't imagine that they're gonna break up, right? Because like, how could you ever find anyone as dumb as you, right?
Yeah, and then Matt, like I posted it on as like a meme, but Matt literally says, "I'm really stupid," and then I reposted it and I said, "Matt said it, not me."
Yeah, he at least he understands and he knows, right? He gets it. Oh, he also said something tonight that pissed me off. I mean, everything he says pisses me off. He's the male side chick, but he was like, "Oh well." The way I was raised was you have to be a man so you can look out for other people and take care of other people. So I was like, oh, So apparently all these single women and single mothers and, just people that are single, they're just out here getting murdered every day and they can't take care of themselves and they can't pay their own bills. It really irritated me because he's like, well, yeah, in order for you to, to be safe and taken care of, you have to be a man. And I was like, who raised you?
Mm-hmm.
Who raised you to believe? Because he's like, well, I had to look out for my family. And I was like, well, the oldest in my family is a girl and she looked out for us. And I was like, it doesn't make a difference your gender. If you're the oldest, you can look out for your younger siblings. And I was like, it just, his level of closed-minded and ignorance, it never ceases to amaze me. Right.
True. And then I'm just going through my tweets. So like Jasmine at one point there when they're in their fight, but she goes, the baby feels what I feel, idiot. And then my tweet says, calling your baby daddy an idiot, contemptuous. So she's already with the name calling and stuff.
Oh, well, we knew that. Jasmine is a
Yeah.
below the belt name call.
Mhm. Yeah, and then she had like a meltdown after they went outside the store and she says, "You didn't even buy the baby clothes." And then my tweet says, "That's when you trade in your sugar daddy for your Planet Fitness daddy."
I saw that. Yeah, he left the store. So yeah, she ran out in a tiff, but he was supposed to purchase the stuff before he came out to the car. He left the shit in the store and didn't buy it. And she was crying and she had to stop crying. And she's like, you didn't even buy the baby clothes. Like, what the fuck? You were supposed to buy the stuff. Like, yeah, I'm mad at you, but you're still supposed to buy the stuff. And it's just hilarious to me because he was just like, I didn't know what to do. I'm confused. And I was like, yes, every day of the year you're confused. He's so confused that he doesn't realize that the man is the one that determines the gender of the child. Scientifically, men are in control of that. The what the man contributes during intercourse is what determines the sex of the baby. So he's angry, I guess, at his balls. I guess because I was like, why are you mad at her? Because she literally had nothing to do with it. I don't like to take up for her, but she literally was just laying on her back. This is all you, bro. This is literally you. You did this.
True. Before we move on from Jay, anything we else want to say about Gino, Jasmine, and Matt before we move on from them?
No, that's pretty.
No, they're pretty
True.
much the highlight in carrying the show, as you said earlier, and that's about it.
Yeah, and then with the Yara Jovi thing, not that it's like for us who we're like the tea masters or we know everything, so we've already seen Yara's original face, so it wasn't like news to us. But they did use the opportunity during the Jovi fight to flash Yara's original face. So what did you think of that?
I didn't think that the picture they used tonight wasn't as bad as some of the ones I've seen.
Yeah,
because I've seen ones where she looked really rough.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the ones from tonight, like since Yara's like uptight about her old original face, she probably was like, "Let me pick what
Yeah,
y'all end up showing."
She likely did. She
most,
was like, no,
yeah,
no.
she must have approved it because I've seen the ones. Remember when she was
Yeah,
on a reality show,
yeah,
Ukraine, and she looked way worse in those than she did in this picture. But I guess the real issue was Jovi said that she looks different now. So when it comes to women, there's certain things you don't say. Now, you don't ever say that she was ugly or fat, regardless of the time period. So the picture can be from, 25 years ago. You still have to say that she looks amazing and pretty and she wasn't fat, even if she was 785 pounds. She's never gonna want to hear that there was a time that she was unattractive. And I'm really, confused as to why Jovi didn't know that, especially as someone who has spent so much of your own money for surgery to look good. Whatever. That's like walking up to Darcy and being like, you got a wrinkle in your forehead. Don't do that. That's going to be another $47,000 in forehead surgery. Don't ever say anything like that to a woman, especially a woman that has had so much work done. Like you always tell her, the only thing you ever should say is, before you had the surgery, you looked amazing. Like that's the only thing you should ever. Don't ever say anything to that extent. So he dug his own grave in that one because I was like, dude, you're basically telling your wife that she was ugly when you met her. You try to sleep alone the night? Like, are you trying to not get any for the rest of the trip?
Okay, so you were on Yara's side in that argument.
100%, 100%. Because I've been dealing with women my whole life. I was raised by a single mom and my sister. I know how women work, and I know what you don't do or say to a woman. Women are triggered over small things that men would never be triggered over. That's a trigger. That's a huge trigger.
You're not wrong, but yeah, especially if it's your wife. If it's like if you're just an asshole like me on like Instagram, then it's different because I get to
Oh
be
yeah,
try to be funny.
yeah. Y'all don't gotta share a bed that night. Like say whatever you want, but if you trying to get some and you trying to be happy, don't
Yeah.
say that. Like, don't ever insinuate that your wife. She wants to believe that she's Jasmine and you're Aladdin, and this is the story the way it was written. And if you tell the story in any other way, you're sleeping alone for a while.
What
True,
do
and
they
they
always say? Happy wife, happy wife, or happy wife, happy life?
I
Go
I
with that.
I call it pretty wife happy life. Make sure she knows she's pretty, and if you don't, it's not going to be a happy life for you.
yeah, and then I'm kind of backing up a little bit, but with the whole Lauren and the ski like Placid trip and all that, the part that was annoying me was at the beginning where like Lauren had to like pretend like she's debating whether she's gonna go or not. She's like, "Yeah, I told him I'm gonna get back to him after I talk with my husband." It's like we already know you're going. It's part of the storyline. So why are we pretending like you're not going?
Well, they did the same thing with Libby the last week. She's like, I gotta
Mhm.
Andre and see if we're gonna go. And I was like, you're going. They're paying for it. The whole purpose
Yeah.
of the storyline is to go to Lake Placid. Like, we know you're gonna show up. And then they even did that little thing where Lauren and Alexi and Jovi and Yara get there, and then they don't know if
Mhm.
Andre are coming. They arrive later. They do the same shit on Basketball Wives. They do the same shit on Love and Hip Hop. This is such an old school trick. They're all going. Their tickets were all booked at the same time. They're all staying on the same floor of the resort. They're just trying to play this game. And I was not feeling that game at all.
Yeah, it just annoyed me because like we know you're going, especially if TLC is paying for the trip. Lauren can't turn down a free trip.
Lauren can't turn down anything for free. If
Yeah.
it's free, Lauren is first in line with bells on. Like, Lauren is ready for something free.
True. And then but I felt they played what Never Have I Ever. Like that was like the dumbest version of Never Have I Ever.
Well, yeah, Never Have I Ever is a really fun game if you play it with the right people. But these are, uptight.
Yeah,
Um,
but you it's so stupid. Like look, he was looking at her like nose ring. He's like, never have I ever have a nose ring. And of course, it's like obvious she has a nose ring.
well, right, you're supposed to put a scenario like, never have I ever slept with my friend's mom, or never have
Yeah,
I ever stolen from a grocery store. Like, it's supposed to
yeah,
be scenarios, not things that are directly in front of you. Well,
yeah.
that's
It's not. Yeah, it's not something obvious. Like
well,
never.
yeah.
Yeah. So they played it kind of fucked up.
They were kind of playing I see with my little eyes, is what they were kind of saying.
That sounds boring.
Yeah, but these are Gina, these are boring people.
I know.
That's what I said. Never have I ever. I've played that game and I've had a lot of fun. But it depends on who you play with. When you put a
Yeah.
bunch of boring, uptight people in a room, you don't get anything out of it. And that's what Lauren and Alexi and Jovi and Yara. They're boring, uptight people. They're just not fun.
True. Yeah. And then as far as all Darcy scenes, it seems like once you see one scene with them arguing, it's like you were saying earlier, it's like you see it once, you've seen it 1,000 times. So like it's just total boring bullshit.
Yeah, it's like a repeat. It's rinse repeat with Darcy. It's like, I had such a good time on this trip, and then Georgie just made me mad, and then they're fighting. And it's so funny because I was on Instagram and I was watching a reel of her and Jesse, and it was just totally random. It popped up and they were in the van and they were fighting, and it happened the same way it did tonight. They were totally fine, everything was good. Then all of a sudden Jesse said, you need to stop drinking, and she flipped out and started screaming. She's like, you never loved me, get out of my life. And I was like, this is such a rehearsed role.
Mhm.
Or like, she goes from I love this person, we're so happy, to get out of my life. And it's like every time, every scene, it's the same thing. It's really getting old.
Yeah, because I watched it at like 2x speed. So then when they start seeing them start fighting, it just like sounds like noise. I don't even like pay attention to the words because I'm
It's the
like,
same thing. Well, one thing that came out tonight was kind of interesting. I think was a little unhinged. Was during the fight, Darcy was discussing Georgie's income and his money and how he could afford a place. And he was like, oh, so why don't we discuss your income? Because you and your sister are broke.
mhm.
And I was like, that sounded off script to me. Didn't it? Like, that definitely didn't sound on script to me, because I was like, it doesn't seem that's something that she would have allowed him to say on TV. Because, there's always been the rumor going around that Darcy and Stacey were knockoff stuff. right? Like all their $20,000 purses and jackets, everyone online says that they're knockoffs. And there's like a lot of people who stick with that story. They're like, they really don't have as much money as they say they do. They really are posers. So when he said that, I was like, that seemed off script. And if you notice, Darcy went from irritated to angry when he did that, and I was like, oh, I think this might actually be legit. I think that they might be fighting on because Darcy has always led us to believe that she comes from a rich family and they're just rolling in money and her Chanel purses are real. And anybody who knows, a Chanel purse costs $12,000. If you have 8 of them, or if you have like every Hermes bracelet that they've ever made, and those are like $8,000 bracelets, you got to be rolling in money. So I think he went off script and called them broke. And I think a lot of people on Reddit who've been saying for years and years and years that they be carrying fake shit are gonna run with that, because that's what people have been trying to say about them for a long time.
True. By the way, like I don't know what she's up to right this moment, but JLP had a funny meme with Lake Placid with like the giant alligator.
I saw that. That was hilarious.
I actually loved it. JLP is amazing with her memes. Yeah, I that would be the most entertaining that Lake Placid could be for me if that was what was going down.
Yeah, I'm gonna like repost it after the show. But yeah, that was good. Yeah, and the Brandon Julia was again. This I don't know. So was Julia went to like New York or something, and like pops back home in Virginia?
Yeah, she went to New York to take her parents to the airport, I'm assuming, and then
I thought it was the Statue of Liberty.
No, they were going home.
Oh, I saw posts that she did, and she said, "Never mind. Continue."
That was like 3 weeks ago. So they went to. She took them. She left Brandon at the farm, and took her parents to the airport, train station, airport, somewhere. I don't know. I wasn't paying close attention because they're just so fucking boring. And then she came back afterward, and then that was kind of the extent of their scene. And then Brandon was like, I don't really know what I want to do. And I was like, well, tell somebody who cares, Brandon, because we don't. Like, we literally don't. We're not invested.
True. Well, I think I don't know.
I want to ask you guys, do you guys think that Darcy and Stacey are as rich as they lead on? I'm just curious. Like, I know that, we've watched them on the show, we watched them on their spinoff. Do you guys think that they're as rich as they say they are?
No. I think they should change their brand to House of 7-Eleven.
Because a lot of people, I've had people argue with me back and forth where they're like, oh no, they're really rich. They have a successful clothing brand, and they've been on TV. And a lot of people say that they did have money, but they spent it all on plastic surgery.
That's true. Yeah. They're kind of, you always say like, what is it? Tiger Lily. It has like, whether it's Tiger Lily or if it's Amani, where they lease their cars. So like, I think they're in the same vein of like leasing stuff and all that shit.
Well, see, here's a funny tidbit on that. Remember when season 1 of Darcy and Stacey premiered? Darcy and Stacey, when they were on the last season of 90 Day Fiancé, they both had matching Nissan Altimas. And then the first season of Darcy and Stacey premiered, and they drove up to their apartment. Or no, this was season 2 of Darcy and Stacey. They drove up to their Miami apartment, and they were driving matching Land Rovers. And then 2 years later, they no longer had those Land Rovers. And you know what that means, right?
2-year lease?
2-year lease. Exactly. They were no longer driving those Land Rovers, and they were driving something nice, but it wasn't a Land Rover. I can't remember. It was something much cheaper. And then a lot of, like, what happened to their Land Rovers or Range Rovers, whatever they call them? And I was like, guys, they got a lease on them. And I was like, I don't want to get too personal on people's personal lives, but another person on the show actually did this too. I'll just say it. Jabri, him and Miona got a free lease on 2 Porsches. And they had to put like the license plate and like a tag phone number on the side
and promote the dealership,
right? And that they got to keep it for 12 months with absolutely no cost. And I think because they premiered those Range Rovers on the premiere of season 2, I think that's what happened with that. They gave them those cars. So yeah, I think they lead you to believe that they have way more money than they do. I don't think that they're poor. I think that they did come from a decent family, right, with decent money.
It's kind of like it's kind of like they know how to anyway. So they know how to like leverage their fame into like perks and like fancy things in the same way like your pal Angela she's able to leverage her fame into having like a LA premiere for her video and like blah blah blah. So she's not. I'm sure Angela's not buku rich these days, but she's able to use her fame to kind of still do cool shit.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that, they are able to, like, on the show, they'll be like, hey, if you give us these clothes, we'll wear them on the show, right? So that you might see them in a really nice outfit, something that looks expensive. They might have went to a shop or a boutique in Miami and was like, hey, if you give us this, we'll film us coming into the store and pretend like we're buying it. And then
Yeah.
their store will be featured on a national TV show. So yeah, I think that they're smart enough to know how to make it seem like they're really, really rich. But when Georgie called them broke tonight, I was like, damn, that seemed off script. And Darcy and Stacey seemed genuinely irritated. So, when somebody is irritated by something, there's a little bit of truth to it.
True. Yeah. So, oh, by the way, this is like random. I don't even know why I'm bringing this up, but I saw your bestie. I guess she's like peddling like yoga pants or something on Instagram.
Oh yeah, she did like a partnership with some yoga place. Yeah, yoga pants.
True. So yeah, well, I hope she's getting paid or something.
Oh yeah, she is. Yeah, and to all the people that said mean, nasty things to her, y'all do better. Please,
Yeah.
like we don't have to.
Yeah, I agree. Like, that's like a low blow to give her shit.
I mean, of all the people out there are people who peddle hate and nasty negativity all the time, and then she's not one of those people, right? So
yeah, it'll be one thing if she was like nasty to other people, and then this was her, and then she did that, then this would be your opportunity to get like your lick back or get back. But she's not like nasty to other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like the people that are nasty to other people, I don't object when I see people come back for them, because karma is a fair woman, right? It's a very fair woman. You do it, you get it back. But when people are out there, they don't ever spread hate. They're decent to people. They say nice things to people. It irritates me, when people say nasty stuff. Like I saw some people saying some stuff about Tyree. When has Tyree ever said anything negative to anybody? Like, why would we be attacking Tyree of all people? There are people who deserve it way more than Tyree,
Yeah, like it's like yeah, we're friends with Tyree, and like Tyree's the nicest dude on the planet, and like whether somebody likes me or you or whoever dislikes me or you, like the barometer of if somebody's a good guy or not, if they're friends with Tyree, then they're probably a good person.
I mean, exactly. Right? Like, I don't know. I mean, and I will drag Jasmine up and down the mud puddle for hours. So I'm not saying that I'm the perfect example, but at the end of the day, she's a succubus. Okay, like it is what it is. She's done some really horrible, nasty things to a lot of people, and if I feel like if you're nasty to people, then you're probably gonna get some nastiness in return. That's just how karma works.
True. Well, I think we hit all the bases, and I know you still have to finish up Love Island Games.
Yeah, I got to the part where it was a double overtime between Garvey and Audrina.
Yeah.
And I finished that off, and I saw that Garvey took the win. So and that's what caused it. And I wasn't, honestly though, I was a little surprised that Audrina made it, as far as she did, because she's not really a good competitor. She's just a really hot chick, it's by off of her extremely hot body and her beautiful face. But she really did show a little heart in that.
Yeah.
I was
surprised too. I was just like, where is this coming from, and where was this momentum at the beginning?
I know, right? Like she was fighting, because I was like, maybe if Johnny saw this earlier, he wouldn't have dogged her the way that he did, because he was like, yeah, I like her, but she's not competitive enough for me to win, and I'm here more so to win. I think they've already had sex outside of the villa, so I don't think that was really an issue for him. He's more so here for the money. So he was like, I got to get rid of her. She's going to tear me down. She's going to bring me down. And then when, him seeing how hard she fought in this challenge, he was like, oh, she's not as weak as I painted her out to be. And I saw it too. I was like, she really did fight. She didn't just go there and take it. She fought.
Like, cause so like, was it Audrina, and that's her. How do you pronounce her name again?
Andrina.
Yeah, Andrina. Like, so she wasn't, because there was voting by the fans, and so Andrina, she wasn't protected based on the votes, and then Kendall wasn't protected based on the votes. So like, my question is, how come they're not like fan favorites?
Well, you have to remember, Audrina was safe with Johnny because of their winning the challenge. So
Yeah.
Donnie kind of screwed her over because by him picking the bombshell, he took her out of safety and put her into vulnerability. And I think that's why she's so irritated, because it was his action. She would have never been in the duel if he wouldn't have chosen to leave her and go be with what's her name? Gabby?
Yeah, Gabby.
Yeah.
Gabby. Yeah, so she's taking it a little more personal. But as of America's vote, yeah, I was gonna ask that. Gina, were you surprised at Kendall and John? Wait, who was in the bottom? It was Kendall and
Marvin.
Marvin.
That didn't surprise me. He just got there. Like, no one even knows who he is. But I was a little surprised that Garby was in the bottom. Like, that was a little shocking for me. Gina, did you?
Me too. I was just like, wait, what? Why is she on here? But anyways.
Do you think it had anything to do with the fact that she spit all that gunk in Lucinda and...
Oh, probably, yeah.
Maybe. And the fact that she's with Kendall. Maybe.
Like, why don't people like Kendall?
Because he's a dog.
Well, he's like a man whore or something?
I think Tyree is more of a dog than Kendall, but that's just...
Well, no. What happened... Quick note, what happened on season 6, he was polling basically a culty. I'm not going to go into detail with that, but and then he lied to the girl Nicole that he left the villa with, that it was his like ex-girlfriend. It was before, like, they were together 2 years ago, but it turns out that he was sending pornographic videos of himself on like these girls on dating apps while he was waiting to enter the villa in Fiji.
Yeah,
so he didn't come clean about it. He basically lied about it.
But he wasn't in the villa and he wasn't dating anybody at the time, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, that's not the point that she was upset about. The point was that he had lied to her about it. About like, oh, it was like so many years ago and it just came and it just resurfaced when in actuality
he should have just told the truth, because the truth sounds better.
Exactly, and that's what she was upset about.
Yeah,
and that's why people hate him, and he's kind of he's kind of a douche.
I would have been like, if you hadn't even started filming and you were single at the time, I would have stuck with the truth, because the truth sounded better. So yeah, that's
wait, what's the name of the chick that Kendall's with?
Garby.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Garby, but I'm not able to articulate why, but something about her rubs me the wrong way.
I like her.
I think it's like,
I like her too.
She's like from what country is she from again?
Belgium.
Yeah, she's like a Belgium virgin, and it's just like, I don't know, she seems like uptight and stuff.
So wait, her being a virgin makes her unlikable for you?
Yeah.
Really?
What?
I don't judge people if they want to or whatever. Like, I've been with people that were like, oh, I'm a virgin, I'm not going to do that, and I changed their mind. They decided that we was going to have fun. So that's people.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, just something about her like annoys me, because I'm like, I think like I think part of it is like, she's part of being a virgin. I think is like, she's probably full of herself too. Like, there's no one good enough for her.
I mean, maybe, or it could be religious. I mean, I don't know.
I'm just saying like, that's the reason I don't like her, is like, she's a virgin, but I'm saying she's a virgin because she's full of herself. So that's probably why I don't like her.
I mean, possibly it could be,
Yeah, true. And what's funny too is like, the grasshopper girl, whatever her name is,
Nicola.
Yeah, Nicola. Like, even though like she was kind of rude to like, was it Marvin? She like rejected Marvin and stuff. Like, she's kind of full of herself too.
Yeah,
they both rejected each other.
No, but I told you, she's the hottest girl in Malta.
Yeah.
They're not in Malta right now, but she still has the attitude that I'm the hottest girl.
She's like a big fish in a small pond versus the opposite.
Yeah, but Malta's a very small country, and for what they got going on, that's hot. So, and that's the attitude she has. So yeah, in the house, she was like, "Oh yeah, I have zero romantic connection with Marvin." And I was like, "I don't think you should just be Xing people out this quickly." I was like, "Not with that face, like give them a chance, have a conversation with them first, right? Like, don't just Xing people out right away. Like, you don't have that option to be doing that. You're not Audrina, like give it a chance,
Yeah, and then that chick that looks like Scarlett Johansson, Gabby, that came. It's like, yeah, she's all hot and stuff. But this show was like kind of wild because like she's like, I know she's from a previous season and all that shit, but like for me, she's like new. So like it's kind of wild where like a new cast member comes in and then you look at their Instagram and she has like, 1.3 million followers already and shit. I'm like, damn.
Oh yeah, because once you do one season of any Love Island show, you become um B-list celebrity. Like you're
Yeah.
high up on the celebrity list. Like you automatically surpass any 90 Day Fiance cast member.
Hmm.
You go directly into the mainstream. I don't know if you know, but at the VMAs, the Love Island cast, they were invited to the VMAs. They were right up there on the red carpet with Ariana Grande. Like they were
Hmm.
automatically launched into that stardom. Even 90 Day Fiance can't do that for you. So yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty wild because like even the players, even the people like I'm curious like how many like followers Marvin has because he's kind of like an NPC equivalent, but like with Hunt for Love, the NPCs with they could be in witness protection, you wouldn't know who the hell they were, but like even an NPC on Love Island games, like they probably still have a ton of followers. So
Yeah, like I think TJ from last season, he's like the thirst one who's always posting stuff. He even has like 379,000 followers.
yeah.
Was I think came in as a Casa boy and was like voted off pretty much right away. Like
Hmm.
still has like a crap ton of followers. Like yeah, you don't even have to be there that long to get the fame. It's just so many people are interacting and watching the show that you just kind of like how I watched a Netflix movie and
Hmm.
like a bunch of brand new people. I'd never seen anybody in this movie before in my life, and I liked the movie. And then I happened to go on Instagram and I searched one of the actors or actresses' name, and they had like 6 million followers just from doing that one Netflix movie. And I was
True.
like, damn, the power of Netflix is really freaking insane. Like that's a lot of power to put in somebody's hands.
True.
So
Yeah,
Marvin has 1.1 million followers.
you're kidding me. Marvin the NPC has 1.1 million.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
You don't understand the level of power that Love Island has. And this show, just to give you an idea, they have a hit show in so many different countries. Like, at 90
Hmm.
we got here in the UK. That's all you get. Like,
Yeah.
imagine if 90 Day Fiance we had 90 Day Fiance Australia, 90 Day Fiance Tokyo, 90 Day Fiance. That's how Love Island is. There's in every country that has a TV network, they have a Love Island. That's how massive the show has.
Yeah. No, I'm shocked because like to me Marvin is like the equivalent of like a Hunt for Love NPC in the background or something. So the fact that he has like over 1 million is crazy.
Well, you don't even have to be on a full season to get 1 million. That's what's
Yeah.
wild. Like you get
Yeah.
2 weeks out of a 6 week season, and you could get 1 million followers.
Sure. But what we should do is like, again, I'm not Gina probably or whatever. You and Gina probably know more of like the older cast members, but we obviously the current cast members who are on TV, like right now, they're not really like able to be on social media much. But like a former cast member, we should like try to like befriend one and get one on the podcast or something.
Oh yeah, there's like I said, the guy TJ, he's thirsty. He's like got a hose in his mouth. Like he's always looking for attention. So they're
Hmm.
the ones that
Sure.
went in on the show and they were voted off really quickly. They're really, really looking for attention in the spotlight. They're like thirsty for it. So I think that we could definitely get somebody to come on. I
Hmm.
if
Why don't I take a look to see which ones have the lowest followers, and then we can go from there.
Yeah,
True.
gotta start low though, because you start high, and then they're only gonna want to go on like call her daddy or whatever, because call
Yeah.
her daddy, she pays 15,000 per interview, so
Mhm.
they're only gonna want to do stuff like that. So you got to go low, 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 and then we can work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. The only thing, I did look at like Ariana Madix, whatever, and then I checked like who she follows, and I tried to see if we had any like followers in common. Meaning, like, does she follow anyone that also follows me that I follow? And there was one person, and then I did DM him about Ariana, and then the person is like Giselle Fetterman, which is John Fetterman's wife, who's like a 90 Day fan, and then Ariana follows her, and I was like, oh, are you friends with Ariana? And then, but I didn't want to say like she said, yeah, whatever. But I didn't want to be all like pushy and say, hook me up with a connection. But I didn't ask formally yet. But I did talk to her
What?
about Ariana.
I think starting with Ariana is is a little ambitious. I think starting with Ariana is a little ambitious. I think we should start a little lower.
Yeah, true.
That's like 2.8 million followers.
Yeah. No, I was just, I was just fishing. I wasn't trying to I didn't make the ask yet. I was fishing if she was friends with her or not.
I think it would be amazing, but I also think, outside of Love Island, she's a universe of fame outside of Love Island because she came from. So I was like, that's ambitious. Like once we get big, start offering money to people to come on the show. That's because I feel like Ariana, she's gonna want money, right? Like,
the only way Ariana is coming on here, it's like if it's like a friend of a friend type thing as a favor type shit.
But, somebody owes her a favor, or we are. I think, but I would freaking die. Like if we could get it done and make it happen, I would totally do it. But I think if we start lower and start getting cast members on, she would know that, and then that would make it easier to make that because she's like, oh, so and so from my show was on your show, and that would make it a little more easier for her to consider.
True. Random 90-day thing. Did you see when they showed flashbacks of Lauren in the throwback photos? Didn't she have like a hot dog in her mouth in one of the photos?
Yeah, I saw that.
I should have probably screenshotted that and posted it, but
that is great ammunition for a meme later. So if somebody grabbed a screen grab of all of those throwback Lauren pictures, please send them our way because I feel like that's ammunition for memes.
Yeah, I think the producers threw that in there hoping we would screen grab it and goof on it.
You know how I feel about her. So yes, we will. And I'll just hold it in my back pocket. I don't feel like I need it right now, but I feel like I need it at some point, right?
Yeah. So I think we did a long show. So I think that's good. We hit all the bases.
Yeah, it wasn't a Tom Cruise show, Gina. It wasn't a Tom Cruise show. It is what it is. I did tweet about Lauren's acne, and a lot of people didn't like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and not tweet about that anymore. I got the hint, guys. You don't like me talking about her acne, so I'm gonna stop. I got the memo. I guess that's the off limits thing, because I say whatever I want about her, but that tweet didn't get love, so I'm not gonna tweet about that again.
Oh, the listeners didn't like you goofing about skin.
No, they didn't like that. So hey, geez, I get it. I'll just stick to her being annoying. They didn't like that one. I say what I say, but they were like, we're not doing that. That's below the belt. So I'm gonna stay away.
Yeah, I think it resonates.
I'm sorry, guys. I changed it after an hour. I'm like, oh, it's like 9 o'clock. Okay, I got shit to do now.
I was watching that today, and then I was, when you build up to the queue, and then you get up to the DVR queue where it's live because you can't really go fat beyond it. And then once I hit that, then I put on Love Island Games, and then I watched that. Then I switched back to 90 Day after the commercials passed.
Well, what did I say it was on our group chat? I'm like, oh, it's picture in picture. That's what my brother does with football.
True.
I can't watch two things at the same time, though. Some people can do that. I remember back in the day when picture in picture was a big deal on TVs. You could buy a TV and you could watch TV.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do that. I don't have the attention span. One of my cars has this really big screen in it. And somebody was riding with me and they were like, that this will play movies, right? And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't do that. So they went in my house, grabbed the DVD, we get in the car and we're driving and they put the DVD in and the movie starts playing. Within 2 minutes, I'm in a ditch. So I cannot do at once. Yeah, I mean, not it wasn't bad. The car wasn't damaged or anything, but we were definitely not on the road anymore because I was not watching the movie. So
it was in the center. It was in in the dashboard or whatever, in the front. I mean,
dash, where you're navigating, my
navigation. Yeah.
And I was just like, there's no way that will work. And they put the DVD in the CD. How you can put the 10 CDs in or whatever. They put it in, and the DVD started playing. I was like, what? And
with Teslas, I guess Elon did a thing where you could play games on the middle screen, but I think the car has to be parked or something.
Yeah. Actually, no, it doesn't. The car that I'm referring to is a Tesla.
Okay.
Yeah, and I ended up in the ditch. So just be careful what you're doing while you're driving, y'all. Don't be me. And luckily it wasn't a ravine. There was no water because in Florida there's water everywhere. It was just an empty little ditch, and we made a little visit to that little ditch. So
All right. Well, I think that ends a fabulous episode of 90 Day Fiancé Fridays. I guess I'm gonna do my outro unless y'all want to say anything else.
No.
Okay.
I'll
All right.
catch the next hour tomorrow, whenever.
Sounds good. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. So thank you for this, another spectacular edition, and also listen to last Friday's show because it was amazing. I guess this is it. Thank you everyone for listening to 90 Day Fiance Fridays on
Sunday.
Sunday.
Guys,
Peace out, everyone.
peace, everybody.
Peace out. Good night.
Good night.